Hello. This video is all about the full moon that is going to be happening on Tuesday, the 1st of August of 2023. And before we get started, I want to talk a little bit about the new moon video that I did last time. And we talked about The Sound of Freedom, The Truth of Human Trafficking, the movie that came out. And it turns out that movie, like I thought it would be, was the catalyst for a whole lot of truths coming to the forefront, and the people waking up using Uranus, the great awakener, to waken up to the truth, and they are demanding the truth. And so that's what that new moon was about. So what we're going to be looking at, because the new moon plants the seeds and then the full moon brings those seeds to fruition. So we're going to be looking at the full moon and seeing what's going on there. So here is the full moon for, like I said, Tuesday, the 1st of August, 2023. And the ascendant, again, we have Libra as the ascendant. And so we are going to be concerned about justice because, as I tell you, Libra is all about the scales of justice. And that is what we're going to be concerned about coming forth, just like we were with the new moon last time. So we have the ascendant, though, is now in Vishaka. And Vishaka is all about doing whatever it takes to get something done. So the ascendant being there, the people are going to be all about getting to the bottom of the truth. They want answers. No more can people hide who are committing crimes and doing things that are illegal. We are going to start demanding justice. And Ketu is there. And as you can see, Ketu is starting to move out of Libra. It's only 4 degrees right now. 4 degrees, 12 minutes of Libra, and it is in the nakshatra of Chitra, and Chitra is the great deceiver. So we are concerned about people who are deceiving us. So what is and who is deceiving us? So we have Venus, which is the ruler of Libra, and is also ruler of the 8th house of this chart. And it is depositing over here to Leo, and it is in the nakshatra of Mrigashira. Not Mrigashira, Magha. And Magha is all about our leaders, our kingship, our ancestors. So they're the leaders of our country. And it is retrograde right now, which means that when Venus is retrograde, we tend to look back on things that have happened in the past. And that can be in a individual's chart, actually, relationships. And as it is in this, because what I'm doing right now is mundane astrology, we see it as being issues that or deeds that our government or our leaders have done in the past. And so that's coming to the forefront. And the 8th house is scandals and things that are going on behind the scenes. So we're getting very interested on what's been going on behind our backs that have been hidden from us that we do not know. So we also have with the retrograde Venus, we have Mars, which is ruler of the 2nd house, which pertains to money and what we are being told, and the 7th house, which pertains to, it would be in mundane astrology, actually our allies, foreigners. And that is what we are interested in, what's going on with money, regarding to money and our supposed allies or people from other countries. And it is in Purva Falguni. Now, Purva Falguni is all about self-indulgence, partying. And so our leaders, because the 5th house, this is Leo, which is in 5th house of the natural zodiac, represents our leadership. So what are the indulgences that our leadership has been indulging in? What have they been doing with the 8th house ruler behind our backs? And the other interesting thing is that Venus and Mars are with Mercury, which is ruler of the 9th house and the 12th house. The 9th house is foreign affairs. It's also the truth. We want the truth about what is going on. The 12th house is about things, again, secrets behind the scenes, but it's also about foreigners as well. So we're seeing a double whammy with this. And immigration. The 9th house is immigration. What is going on with our leaders? And Mercury is with Magha is in Maga with Venus as well. So what is it about the immigration, our allies, and scandals that are going on behind the scenes involving money going on with our leaders? What's up with that? We want to know the answers. Mercury being there is no longer going to let these things slide. We are demanding answers because Sun is the ruler of Leo, and it deposits over here to Cancer. And Cancer is very concerned about our homeland security and what's going on. And the Leo in this chart is the 11th house, which is the masses. The Cancer is the 10th house here with the Sun. And Sun represents our leaders. What are they hiding? What are they not telling the truth about? The 10th house is our government. What is the government not telling us the truth about? No longer are we going to be silent. We want answers. And the Sun is in Pusha. Now, Pusha is, they like to talk a lot. They like to teach, and they like to prophesize. And so what, basically, it's about the mouth. What are our leaders telling us? Can we trust our leaders? That's the question, and that is what we want to know, and we are finding out because of all the events that have been happening and the truth coming out, that our leaders have not been telling us everything, but we have had the media not telling us the truth and covering up for our leaders, especially the liberal, very extremist liberal media has not been telling the truth. So about what's going on with our leadership. There are other forms of the media who are getting the message out there, and sooner or later, the liberal left is going to have to start reporting it. Instead, what they do is they find some other stories that are going to take us away from what is really happening. But the walls are closing in. You can run, but you cannot hide. And the karma is come due. It is time for us to know the truth about that, and we are demanding it. So then we have the Sun here, as I said, is in Cancer, in Moon, the full moon, which is our consciousness, the way we feel about things, our emotions, and the masses, is the ruler of Cancer, and it is depositing over here to Capricorn. Now, Capricorn is all about our government, and it is all about, as well as the truth and what's coming out. And as you can see, the moon is, when it's a full moon like this, the moon is very bright. So we have a lot of energy and to get to the bottom of things and what's going on. And it is in the nakshatra of Shravana. And Shravana is all about listening and hearing and seeking the knowledge, seeking the truth. And that is what the masses are now demanding. That is what the people want. The silent majority has been woken. It has been a sleeping bear that has been letting things just kind of slide until finally it's gotten to be too much. And so they are waking up. The silent majority is waking up. They're demanding answers. Uranus, the Great Awakener, has finally awoken them. And I believe the movie Sound of Freedom triggered a lot of that, and people are starting to question what's really happening, what's really going on. And you're going to see more and more of that coming through. And also, it is with the full moon is with Pluto, which is retrograde. And as we talked about in other videos, the United States is getting its Pluto return, which is in the second house of the United States chart, which means we're getting back to our roots. People are tired of being censored. More and more of that is coming forth. They're not going to stand for censorship anymore. The government is starting to look at that. And I do think that it's very interesting that at this time, Mark Zuckerberg, I guess that's how you say his name. Forgive me if I've mispronounced it because I have a hard time pronouncing his name. But I find that it's very interesting at this time that after Elon Musk bought Twitter and exposed the censorship by the FBI and the government justice system during the past elections and also during COVID, exposed all that, then Mark brings up another social media platform called Threads, like we need another social media platform. And a lot of people went on it, but they started being censored from day one. And so the government is looking at that. The Oversight Committee is looking at what's going on there with Threads. But we can thank Elon Musk for bringing the censorship, which we all thought was going on, which was happening behind the scenes, but bringing it to the light. And we're going to see more and more of that happening as Pluto retrograde going back and forth over the United States. Natal Pluto, which is at 6 degrees. We're getting back to our roots. And what was this country founded on? Well, it was founded on freedom of speech, and censorship is illegal in this country. And so that is becoming more and more to light, what's going on with that. And I don't think people are going to stand for that much longer. So that is there. Now, Saturn is the ruler here of Capricorn, and it is depositing over here to Aquarius, where it's been for a while, and it is retrograde. And the United States moon happens to be there at 7 degrees. And so the United States moon is getting a Sadi Sati, and it's the third house of the United States chart. So what this means is the third house is communications. It's also the media, but the truth is coming out, because what Saturn is a truth bearer. So is Pluto. Pluto also brings out the truth. That's why we're starting to see a lot of this coming up. But Saturn also is karma, is where karmic dues are being paid. And with him going back and forth over the United States moon in the third chart, that's the communications, it's the media, it's the media being exposed for being a propaganda machine and covering up what is really going on with our government and our rulers, our leaders. And being in Shana-Bishak, we talked about this, where it is Shana-Bishak is all about addictions, mental illness, and we're seeing more and more of that. It's coming to light, as well as a stargazer. So this week, as a matter of fact, the Oversight Committee is going after finding out the information about UFOs and what the government has been hiding, if in fact they have been hiding anything. But anyway, the records and all the information about the UFOs, they're demanding that information be revealed. And it is starting to be revealed. So we're going to be seeing that. But Shana-Bishak is also about 100 healers. I know you guys have heard me talk about this. So we are going to be finding ways to deal with this. But that is why we are seeing so many addiction issues, also because of the open borders with all the fentanyl coming in and mental illness. But then also the trafficking, the human trafficking with the open borders is coming in. And we have to ask, why does the administration want to keep the borders open? What is really going on here? When the open borders are bringing us nothing but crime and fentanyl drugs that are killing our people and increasing the human trafficking, why do they insist on keeping the borders open? That is the question, and that is going to be revealed, I believe, more and more as time goes on. And like we said, Saturn also is the karmic dues. So the karmic debt is coming due, and I'm going to explain that a little bit more as we go on. But for this chart, this house, Aquarius, is the 5th house of children. That's again why I brought up the human trafficking. So the truth is coming up about that. Plus the drugs, the cartels, all of that, our borders. And so that is the final depositor, because Saturn actually rules Aquarius. So let's move on to here, where we do have a retrograde Neptune in Uttara Bhadrapada, which is a very harsh nakshatra. If it was in it spans from Aquarius to Pisces. And if it was in, which it has been in Aquarius for quite some time. And so you have been seeing some very radical, humanistic organizations or people coming forth who are kind of two-faced. So they say that they're going for one cause when actually behind the scenes there's something else going on. And so when it gets into Pisces, though, it gets a little bit calmed down. So the truth is going to be revealed about all that as Saturn makes his transit through that nakshatra as he goes into Pisces. But it's going to be, this Neptune is going to be included in another astrological formation I'm going to be talking about in a minute. So keep that in mind. That's why I mentioned it. And then we do have in the 7th house again, Rahu, Jupiter, and Uranus. So as I talked about with the new moon, it's a great awakener for what's happening with the children. Rahu is criminals and toxic people, the children being transported from our supposed allies, from foreigners, into the United States from foreign countries, and that's been going on. But what the Uranus is there, the great awakener who's awakening all that. And then again, we have Mars as a depositor of that, as I already discussed, going over here into Leo, which brings us to our world leaders. What do they know about it? And so that pretty much covers all this. So what this basically means is that the truth is going to continue to come out. People are demanding it. And this is going to set the stage. It's setting the stage even more for what is going to be happening in the month of September, which I tell you, September is going to be a pivotal month for the United States and for world leaders. There is a lot of energy that's happening. And that, I believe, is when everything is going to come to a head. And we will be discussing that in further videos, future videos. So one thing I do want to mention before I go on, because August actually sets the stage for this catalyst that's going to be happening in September and also going into October. A yod is beginning to be formed on the 1st of August with this full moon. And actually it was formed prior to that, but with the full moon, we're really looking at it. Because what a yod is considered the finger of God. And what this means is we have to go through many, M-I-N-I, deaths before we come to a reawakening or a rebirth. And that is exactly what's going on. So we have the first yod that is really coming into effect on August 1st. And that involves the moon with Pluto here in Capricorn and Neptune here in Pisces. So that forms the Y, see the triangle right here. And then it points to Leo. And all these planets in Maga are leaders. And so what we look at is this means, because Pluto's here, so the moon is transiting over this, which is activating this, is that there's going to be huge scandals. Pluto blows things up. It's big. Neptune is what's behind the scenes, so it's scandals. And the Y tells us about what? Leo, our government, and the masses becoming aware of it. You cannot change things until you become aware of them. So the awakening is happening right now. And the midpoint of the yod is what I've said right here, which is Saturn in Aquarius. And what is Saturn? Our karmic lessons. And what does Saturn aspect? This house here again. So the karmic dues are coming to be paid. It's time for them to be paid. The truth is coming out. It is being revealed. And so it depends on what side of the fence you're on, whether or not that's going to be a good thing for you or maybe not such a good thing for you. The other thing too is that with Saturn aspecting this retrograde Venus, again, it's a karmic coming due for what the leader, the ruler of this chart in Maga. Again, we see that again with relationships, what's been going on with our government. And Saturn Mercury is also there, and what that does is it gives us the discipline and the courage to discover the truth and talk about it and to bring it out. The people who are uncovering the truth are going to have the courage and the ability to do that, and we are going to be wanting that done. And then the Saturn Mars is actually kind of a difficult type of aspect because it causes all kinds of frustrations and delays. Because Saturn, if you can think about it, Saturn is the big old bear, let's say, the sleeping bear. And then Mars is the yippy bee that's buzzing around the bear's head when it wakes up and it goes to eat honey, and it's stinging the bear, and he gets annoyed, and finally he just goes boom and smashes the bee. So that's the conjunction or the aspect. Whenever Mars and Saturn are in aspect to each other, that's kind of what's going on. So Mars wants things done today or yesterday, and Saturn's like, hey, slow down, we're going to do it tomorrow. Let's get all of our ducks in a row. But what this does is it gives us the ability and the courage to overcome any obstacles. So the obstacles to us getting to the truth, we're going to be kind of frustrated because they're going to be there, because of course the people who the truth is coming out about don't want it to be revealed. So they're going to come up with all kinds of strategies and ways of trying to prevent that from happening. But in the end, the truth always wins. Remember, the light always wins. So in the end, that's what is going to happen, and that's what's important. And so that is the finger of God, where it points to where the energies, planetary energies, are focusing in on. Then the other thing is on the 18th of August is when we have another yod being formed, and I believe the new moon's on the 17th. So the day before, the day after the new moon actually is when a second yod is going to be formed. And so that is going to be involving not only Leo, but also Virgo. And I will go into that in a future video. But all I can say right now is to prepare for that, just take good care of your health. Make sure you're taking a lot of vitamin D3. I take 5,000 units a day, but that seems to prevent you from becoming susceptible to maybe viruses. And I know some people are saying that they think there's going to be another epidemic, but I don't really think so. I think what's going to happen is it's going to be more of a uncovering of the truth of what really went on with COVID, and there's probably going to be fallout from that. That is my prediction. But still, these are trying times. It's kind of stressful. We all are kind of feeling the energy. And so it is a good thing to protect yourself and stay healthy and reconnect with your higher power. That is what's going to get you through this, and stay focusing on the truth and the light, because that is what's going to set you free. So, yeah, that's basically all I have to say about this. I am going to be releasing my video that I did soon on the predictions for 2024, and I am seeing a lot of things happening. And this is the presentation that I gave at a conference back in June, and I'm very candid. It's uncensored. So you'll want to get that when I do release it. I will be releasing it soon. But that's basically all I have for this chart. Don't mean to scare y'all. Good things are actually coming. The truth is finally being told. And that's what we need to have uncovered so that we can grow and develop and evolve as human beings and get our country back on the right track. So there you have it. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and click all notifications so you don't miss any videos. And check me out at my website, www.michellebond007.com. And while you're there, be sure to sign up for my free newsletter so you will always be informed. And you know what? Everybody was born with a deck of cards. And so what I do is I help you see those deck of cards, what life has dealt out for you, and help you plan strategies to play those cards, because the more strategic you can play those cards, the more successful you will be. So be sure when you check me out at my website, michellebond007.com, to book an appointment. Be courageous, be empowered, book an appointment, and I will see you next time.